We believe in strong, but we know strength doesn't come quickly or easily. There are no shortcuts, no cheat days. We know this because it's how we built our company. Good old-fashioned elbow grease and grit. When we created our IUL product, we knew it had to reflect our values. We knew it had to deliver on what IUL products were designed to do, create upside potential and downside protection. But we knew it also had to be simple and easy to understand, so clients know what they're buying. It had to be a strong, client-friendly product with features that matter. Features like the ones found in our Income Advantage and Life Protection Advantage IUL products. One index and a simple annual point-to-point crediting method. Low policy costs. And client-friendly features like the guaranteed refund option and accelerated death benefit riders. And there it is, simple and honest. We created a strong IUL product because we know your clients are relying on it to help them protect and preserve their futures. They want more than a product that's designed just to look good on an illustration. And now, our industry is relying on you to sell an honest IUL product that does what it was designed to do without unnecessary complexity. The question is, are you strong enough to join us?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's Facebook AMS Live Call. Today is September 12th, and we have a great call for you. I'm going to start out with our weekly issue paid numbers. This is IULs for week 36. We have Avery P. with 833, Dawn S. with 866, John M. with 1,198, Julia G. with 4,500, and David E. with 30,197, bringing our weekly total to 36,761. For issue paid annuities, this is week August 29th through September 4th. We have Christina S. with 10,253, Timothy K. with 18,251, David E. with 26,349, Mary B. with 30,000, David P. and Danielle B. with a split on 31,669, Todd S. with 35,505, Michael P. with 46,469, Todd S. with 49,128, Alan C. with 50,201, Brittany S. with 66,301, Stephen F. with 97,905, Wayne C. with 100,000, Galen W. and Jerry J. with a split on 107,414, Jack Y. with 132,443, Danielle B. with 157,726, Albert L. and Chris C. with a split on 220,995, Carl V. and Mark P. with a split on 232,262, Keith C. with 280,267, Donnie L. with 297,187, and Michael S. with 466,459, bringing our total for the week just shy of 2.5 million. Up next, we have Galen Ware on how to gain your client's trust. Stay tuned.
Sean Ruggiero here, Family First Life. Thanks for joining us on the AMS Live. I have one of our top agents, top VPs, and one of my favorite people out there, Galen Ware. Galen, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be on this call with you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. I got to get a shirt like that. It's a good-looking shirt. 10K a week. I love it. I love it. So Galen, you and I, we speak actually fairly often, talking about business, talking about annuities, how we're expanding that, something that you've pushed on, and from the very get-go. And I think you should take a lot of pride in this, and I think people should to listen to this point. You have attacked annuities based on the basic principles and expanded from there. You're not someone who has waited to say, I need to have all these 6 educations on annuities and I have to have a degree in this or understand all the product knowledge. You ask for the basics. Hey, can they lose money? Is there any fees? Can they turn on income? Good. I'm going to go run with it. And you've been writing annuities since you started. And I think that's an approach that a lot of people need to take, because there's a reason why the approach to annuities is simple. But the solutions they solve can have some complexities, right? We don't
Right.
know what's going to happen in the future. You know, you and Michelle and the kids, what's going to happen in 20 years?
Right.
We don't know. Life insurance is a nice, simplistic solution. If you die, it pays a death benefit. Annuities are not complicated products, but the solutions are a lot of things that we're dealing with that we don't know. They're a bit what we call ambiguous, of course. And so what an important factor in annuity sales is trust, right? And trust is something that you've done a great job of handling with your clients. So what we wanted to talk to you about was how are you building trust with your clients? What steps are you taking? A recent story you have, I know you shared with me. I'd like you to share with all the agents. And what do you recommend agents do so they can build trust?
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, again, Sean, I really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you for being the guy that you are. I can remember the very first time I had a conversation with you. Number one, I was nervous because it was going to be something different that I had never done before. And you gave me the confidence to go out and do this with the assurance that I could win in it. And so I appreciate that so much from you. And of course, you know, Sean Mike has put together a great program for us, one that gives us the ability to win at all costs. And that's another thing that's super exciting. So I'm glad for him to have been the visionary that he is. And of course, Mike Kilmet being the dude he is, being a great leader and mentor as well. So thank you all for everything you've done. But most of all, the annuity process, like everyone else, I was completely afraid. I was scared to death, thinking about getting someone to give me the money or the information to the money that they had been holding and had built for 25, 30, 40 years. I was worried about how I was going to get the client to trust me to give me something they'd held on to for so many years. And I asked you those questions. So what happens with an annuity? What does it do? I think about those questions now and they're kind of elementary, but what happens? Right. What does it do? Does the client lose money? Because if the client loses money, I don't want to do that one because I don't like delivering bad news.
Right.
And so you said, well, Galen, no, I can assure you there's no bad news, bro. The thing that we can control is loss. They're going to make money on the upside. So they're going to make money. Athene is going to make money with them, and they're going to make money with Athene. The fees are controlled. And I was like, wow, so all of these things? And again, you said yes. And after getting that assurance that I could win on that level, to never have to deliver bad news, to never have to walk in a client's home and hear them talking about or watch the sad faces that they had lost thousands of dollars, because I can remember the 2008 era because I was in the mortgage business. I lost everything I had almost dealing with the market because I thought I had it captured to my benefit, and then I didn't because I didn't really understand it. But the thing about that is with us here at Family First Life, I will keep saying till I can't say it anymore. You as an agent, if you're listening, you have to trust the process. There have been some great people put in place. And even with this guy here, Sean Ruggiero, a great guy to learn from. Now, the only thing about it, if you're not interested in learning how to protect the wealth of others, then of course, I wouldn't pick the phone up and call. I wouldn't waste any time saying that I want to do this. But that's how we're structured. That's how we're taught here at Family First Life. And that's exciting enough for me. So moving on, I had a couple of clients that I've been kind of dealing with over time. And, you know, it's hard sometimes to break the cycle of the relationship with a broker. That's a difficult task sometimes, because this one particular client, I think this lady had, she was a teacher. She was an educator. So she had watched this kid grow up. This kid was at one location of an investment house, and then he left that one and went to another one. And she went with that guy. Mm-hmm. And so the first thing I'm saying to myself is, oh my God, how are we going to even get her to do the paperwork? She's been knowing this little boy, knowing him since he was a boy. Now he's a man married with kids. So she has a long-standing relationship with this person. But the only thing I talked about was, number one, ma'am, have you ever taken a look at your statement? And she got quiet. And I says, hello? She says, yes. I said, have you ever taken a look at your statement? She says, yes, Galen, but I can't read it. It's like, wow. So how long have you had your money there? She says, well, I had this money there for the last 6-7 years. And you've never been able to read a statement? She says, no. I says, okay, great. Let me send you one. Take a look at it. Can you read that one? She says, oh my God, did you just prepare this? I says, no, ma'am, that was prepared for someone else from last year. That's in your same age bracket. Can you imagine how far ahead they are versus where you are right now? They can read it. They can read their statement, and you can't read yours, even as an educator. This is by far, I am not trying to belittle you in any way. I'm just saying I wouldn't have my money sitting somewhere to where I can't even read a basic statement. Do you understand what you've won and what you've lost? She says, no, I don't understand that. Go back and look at the other statement that I just sent you. Can you figure out what that client has won and lost? She says, yeah, I can see it. Okay, look back at your statement. Can you figure out what you've won and lost with your statement again? She said, no. She says, so you mean to tell me you all create statements to where a person, this looked like this was developed maybe maybe anywhere from maybe a 5th to about a 10th grade education level? I said, you're pretty much, that was the system. And it blew her away. And then the other things, the added benefits were, she was worried about, how am I going to survive for long-term care? And I can't get it right now at 69 years old. It's too expensive. How am I going to do this? And so when we had the conversation about the agility product, of course, I called Sean to run some ideas across him. And by the time I got a chance to run the ideas, we were on the same page before we even hit the conversation. So that was exciting and let me know I was growing.
That was exciting for me too. I was like, dang, you're like, yeah, Sean, I already put those illustrations together, but I think it's a good idea.
Yeah,
that was good.
So,
great minds think alike.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And you know, one of the better things that I can say, whenever I talked about this here in Dallas at our summer sales conference Tuesday, is when a teacher gives you an assignment and that assignment is given to just you, you got to see yourself as being some kind of special, not some kind of special crazy, but some kind of special because of the fact that they're trusting you with the information they're yielding to you. So when I sat and I put those illustrations together and then had a conversation with Sean, I was like, oh my God, I'm a super student. I got this. So I was happy about that. But needless to say, the lady moved forward. She says, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do my paperwork. Number one, Galen, I trust the process in which you're taking me to. Number two, Galen, I trust the fact that my statements are going to look just like these statements that you sent to me.
Right.
Number three, Galen, I can read my statements, baby. I says, you know what? I'm excited because you're excited that you're going to be able to read what comes to you in the mail moving forward. That was one. Then I had another client that I've been dealing with now for probably pretty close to almost 2 years. And he was not ready to, where he couldn't move because his money was stuck in a situation. With the way that he was vested into his retirement package, he couldn't touch it till he was 45 years of age. 45 is coming up on September. Another one's coming up October. Another one is coming up, 1st of October, end of October, mid-October. It's 3 or 4 then. So I've been talking to these guys for a couple of years. Well, the thing of how I got them was the exact same way. I used the training that I'm getting on Thursdays, me being able to sit down and send a message into Bridget and ask a basic question. Sometimes the more elementary it is, the more money you earn. The less elementary, the less money you earn. So sometimes we take things and we overcomplicate them.
Yeah.
And in overcomplicating them, that's a problem. You can't do that. You just got to deal with the bare basics. And that's all I've done. So here these guys are, and these next ones are not small.
Right.
I think one is 550, another one is for 780-something thousand, another one for 684,000. These are large number deals to where in the beginning, Sean, I thought I was going to have to compete with some of those other guys at the big broker shops.
Yeah.
but I went back to the basics. I took a basic statement, and in taking a basic statement, putting it in place, okay, showing them face to face, this is what your statements will look like, because you can't read what you got right there.
Right.
And the guys were like, hey, man, dude, so you all just create these on the spot? Is this just to get me to say okay? I was like, no. So how many more you want to see like that?
Right.
And
I think that's brilliant. I mean, I was writing a note here because it's so important. And this is why we have these calls, Galen, because I wrote down this: some statement simplicity equals trust. And so we look at that, and what Galen's referring to is, if you don't have any statements, email annuity@familyfirstlife.com. We've got some redacted statements, annual statements that clients receive that we can use as an examples. So something that a life insurance agent, an annuity agent might think as inferior is actually superior. So I'll give you an example, Galen. You're making me think of it. I have clients say, now, where do I check my account? I want to log in and see how it's doing. I say, you can log in, but it won't change.
Yeah.
It's not like the market, right? You know, when you check the market, and some people, maybe they get a high, like an adrenaline rush, like, oh, it's dropping. Oh, it's coming back up. It's dropping. If you like that, then you got to go to the dog track or the horse track or something like that. But don't do it with your retirement, because the annuity statement will give you a statement annually, and it's going to do one of two things. It's going to go up and lock in those gains, or it's going to stay the same and not because the market went down. That's it. Nice and simple. And like you said, hand them a statement. And again, we can email those to you if you ask for it. Hand them a statement, and those statements have simplicity. Here's your starting amount. Here's how much was credited. Here's your ending amount. If they took money out, they put another line that says, here much money you took out. It's that easy. And Galen, I love it, man. This is why we have these calls, because the opposite of that is, look at your current statement. I can't figure it out. Can you? Yeah, I can't.
That's it.
Galen, I love it, man. I love it. Hey, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for being on the call. And like I said, I wrote that down. I'm going to put that out on my Safe Money Smart and on the new AMS Facebook page, and share it with everybody. Statement simplicity equals trust. Galen Ware, we'll give you credit. Okay, brother?
Hey, most definitely, man. I appreciate that. And one last thing, too, I would say to other agents who are brand new, that's trying to figure out, maybe you've been here 6 months, and you saw 100 people. You've been here a year, and you've seen 300 people. Every time you made mention of that, using a client worksheet in the house, do you have anything that acts like life insurance? And they might have said no then, or they might have said, I'm happy where I am. If I were you, I would take the time to go and buy you a couple hundred stamps, take the letters, because you helped me revise a letter that I was going to send out. Take that letter and send that letter out to everybody. That's a brand new lead for you.
Excellent.
Send that letter out, because the market is changing right now. It's changing before your eyes. And if you send them those letters, I guarantee you'll get calls.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Galen. If you want to know about the letter that Galen helped structure, email annuity@familyfirstlife.com. We also can help you pull your client list from Americo so you can have addresses to send them. Great stuff as always, Galen. And you got me thinking, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a classroom session talking about simplicity of statements. And I'm going to compare a redacted brokerage statement to a redacted annuity statement and say, which one makes sense to you? Which one helps you sleep at night? Which one is the path you want to take on retirement? I'll give you credit for that. Thank you, Galen. Appreciate you being on. You take care.
Thanks, bro.
Good morning, everyone. Sean Ruggiero. Thank you for joining us on the Family First Life AMS Live here on Facebook. We have a special guest with us today. We have a gentleman named Tom Frederick. Tom Frederick is an advanced market specialist with a lot of education, a lot of training, and a lot of knowledge about insurance products, annuities, all the such, but especially something called an Index Universal Life, that product that we've been talking about so much lately. So Tom represents the advanced market specialist team at Mutual of Omaha, one of our favorite carriers. And Tom, we were talking, first, Tom, thank you for being on the AMS Live with us today. And we were talking about what makes Mutual of Omaha a great partner, but also this Index Universal Life, which is growing, you know, we're starting to approach $100,000 issue paid every week. And I know that doesn't seem a lot compared to the life that we do, the mortgage protection, the final expense, and the annuities, but it's growing. And I think it's a product that more people need to be aware of. A lot of people know about Mutual of Omaha. Let's talk to the agents. You've prepared some PowerPoint slides to go through with us today about the power and the simplicity of the Mutual of Omaha IUL. So, Tom, take it from here. Why don't you walk us through this product and tell us the benefits and what agents can do and understand so they can sell more of these products for their clients.
Yes, will do, Sean. Thanks for having me today. Hi, everyone. Like Sean said, my name is Tom Frederick. I am an advanced market specialist with Mutual of Omaha, and I'm going to talk to you for a few minutes about our 2 IUL products that are available for you and your clients. I want to give you a short story that you can easily remember and convey to your clients so they see the reason why they should choose you and your Mutual of Omaha portfolio of products. Now, our IUL products are straightforward, simple, and low cost. They do what IULs were originally designed to do, which is offer upside potential with downside protection. And they do it simply enough for your clients to understand exactly what they're buying. We don't need all the complexity in our illustrations. Our products are strong enough to stand on their own. Now that's our story, so let's dig into the details a little bit. Before we touch on the IUL, I want to tell you a little bit about our company. Most of you have heard of Mutual of Omaha, and we've been around for more than a century, earning our reputation of strength. Founded in 1909, we've worked hard to build relationships, fulfill promises, and earn trust. You don't have to take our word for it, though. Objective third-party agencies validate and reinforce Mutual of Omaha's financial strength. We have consistently earned strong ratings from AM Best, Moody's Investor Services, and Standard & Poor's. Now let's hear what others have said about our IUL products. The Life Product Review awarded our IUL products with their WYSIWYG award. That stands for what you see is what you get. That's because our products don't require advanced degrees in math to understand them. There are no complicated bonuses or multipliers to achieve in order to get the interest credited to your account. And perhaps even better, no fees are associated with those types of features because they don't exist, and that will save you from seeing your cash values drastically drop in years when the market goes negative and your actual return is zero. So your clients will enjoy the fact that there are no additional fees that are going to negatively impact their cash values. Now let's move to our IUL portfolio. We have 2 IULs. We have our Income Advantage IUL, and that's used for generating strong income. Then we have our Life Protection Advantage, or LPA, and that's used for producing a guaranteed death benefit that's guaranteed out to age 85. While they are 2 distinct products, most of the features on these 2 products are the same, which will allow you to understand our IULs a little more quickly. The basic thing to remember relating to these 2 products are that we have one product for income, and that's our Income Advantage IUL, and we have one product that's designed for death benefit protection, and that's our Life Protection Advantage LPA. If you can remember those 2 things from this presentation, you've got a good start on understanding our products. The S&P 500 is our loan index, and the S&P 500 is a stock market index that measures the stock performance of 500 large companies listed on stock exchanges in the United States. It is one of the most commonly followed equity indices, and many consider it to be one of the best representations of the U.S. stock market. So 2 products, 1 index. I think we can all keep that straight pretty easily. We also have one of the easiest crediting methodologies available on the market, and that's annual point-to-point. Each premium payment goes into an indexed account on the 10th of each month. That account matures 1 year after it begins. This makes it easier to track how the product is doing. So let's say your client made their first premium payment on August 1st 2019. That means the premium will go into the index account on August 10th, 2019, and it will mature on that same date in 2020. The change on the index between those two dates will determine the client's return. Let's dig a little deeper into our products and talk about caps and participation rates. We have 3 different indexed accounts for each product, but they work pretty similarly. Each product has a no cap option with a lower participation rate. The no cap option is for clients who believe the stock market is going to have double-digit returns on a regular basis and want to take advantage of those returns. With the no cap option, the client has the ability to do that. But with the no cap option comes a lower participation rate. With the income advantage, the participation rate is 65%. With the LPA, it is 55%. So your client should be expecting multiple years of returns in the upper teens to the low 20s to get the benefits of the no cap. The 100% participation index option has our highest cap and is for clients who think the S&P 500 will consistently return in the 6 to 11% range, in which they can get 100% of that return. The cap on the index advantage is 11%, and the cap on the LPA is 9.5%. The 140% participation rate index option has our lowest cap, and this is for clients who think the glory days of the stock market are over. They think the market will return 6% or less consistently. And so for those clients, they would choose this index option because they get 140% participation rate. But the cap on this index option is 8.5% for the income advantage and 7.5% for the LPA. I mentioned earlier that one of the great features of our products is that it has low policy costs. Our costs are designed to be low cost and competitive. There aren't any features that add more costs that would hinder policy performance. The charges in our policy are as follows. We have 1 of premium charges, 2 expense charges, 3 costs of insurance, 4 any charges for riders that are added onto the policy, and of course 5 surrender charges. Now that might seem like a lot of charges, but the upside here with our policy is that if your client wants to see exactly what the costs are on their specific policy, there is a cost and expense report in WinFlex that you can print and provide to your client. That report will show exactly what your client is paying on a dollar basis in the policy. Now that's what I call transparency. We aren't hiding our costs because we know they're the best in the industry. Let's finish off with our great riders. I have to tell you about all the riders that provide great value to your clients. First, we have our accelerated death benefit for terminal illness, which allows your client to accelerate the death benefit if they have been determined to be terminally ill by their doctor. Then we have 2 riders that may be used for clients that have been determined to be chronically ill. First is our long-term care rider. This is medically underwritten upfront and involves extra premium charges for this rider. This is optional. The client can choose this long-term care rider if they think it works best for them. The other option is our chronic illness rider. This one is not medically underwritten and is automatically added to the policy with no upfront charges. So that's a great option for clients that are looking to protect themselves from long-term care costs, and they can choose either one of those 2 riders to do that. Finally, we have our guaranteed refund option rider. This rider provides the client the option to get their premiums back 7 different times during the life of the policy. First, the client may surrender the policy in year 15 and receive 50% of their premiums back, or the client can wait until years 20 through 25 and receive 100% of their premiums back, up to 50% of the original specified risk, otherwise known as the face amount. So this rider here is a great option for clients who are concerned about what their policy is going to do for them if they haven't fully bought into what IUL can do. This is a great fallback option to tell the client that if they have any overall concerns about how this policy is going to perform, don't worry, you can always get your money back with the Grow Rider. So there you have it. Those are our policies in a nutshell. Pretty simple and straightforward. I hope you agree. Now go tell your story to your client and get them working with you and Mutual of Omaha, a company you know and trust. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Hey, Tom, I appreciate it. That is, I love the simplicity. And just as we asked for it, you delivered. Here's the two policies, the two products. Here's how they work. Here's what the indexing options are. And here's some of the benefits to the clients as far as riders and how we deliver it. A couple things I want to point out. The power of Mutual of Omaha, okay? You know, this doesn't happen all the time, and I tell agents sometimes, all right? Sometimes when someone's questioning the carrier you're choosing, that's just because they're using it as an excuse that you haven't done a good job selling, they don't trust you, you didn't build enough value, whatever it might be. But there are those times where the person is concerned, and this is like a marriage in a certain extent, right? We want to make sure that company is going to be around, and we can talk financial ratings, we can talk legal reserve in the state, but Moo is going to be there. So I encourage agents, especially if you're new, especially if you want to, you know, I talk about all the moving variables when you're making sales. If you want to have that variable not be existent, you can talk about the power of Mutual of Omaha, and I think that's very, very powerful. I love the idea of a one index choice. I really do. I have, you know, a CFP, multiple, you know, financial designations. And I don't like having all those indexes. I really don't, because it just confuses them when you have to present that. Or if you just try to focus on one and say, let's just look at this index. What does the client think? The client thinks, what, are you hiding something from me? Do you get paid more for that index? I love the S&P. And for agents out there, I have dissected this product to a certain extent. You know, avoid the no cap. And the reason I say that is because you illustrate it perfectly. You're going to need some pretty unrealistic returns for it to be the most favorable. It's out there just in case. Some people like to play with these indexes year to year. That's fine. Let's avoid it as agents. Go with the 100%. You get 100% of the S&P up to 11%. You want to get really cute, you could look at how many times the S&P goes over 11%. It's not very often. And understand that you'll participate in 100% of the gains up to 11% and none of the losses. That's the pitch. So I really like that index, and I like the idea it's on the S&P 500. Let me ask you one last question before we wrap up. What age do you suggest, assuming healthy, okay, assuming they've got some decent premium relative to their age, on the index or the income advantage, at what age should agents start looking to phase out of the income advantage to the life protection? Or am I looking at that incorrectly, Tom?
No, I think when we've illustrated the policy, when we've talked to advisors with different scenarios in front of us, if a client doesn't have $20,000 or more to put into it around age 50, then you need to start looking at an LPA, because they're just not going to be able to get the cash back out of it to make a difference.
Yeah. Okay. The analogy I always give, and I always say 50, 55, but yeah, that probably holds up more truer. The 50 is it's like a jet. So Alaska Airlines has a brand new lounge in Seattle, and it is massive. It is awesome. I want my house to look like that someday. And you get a look at the runway, and those little those fixed wings, the angular straight wing regional jets or planes. Sometimes there's just still prop planes. These bombardiers, de Havillands, they take off so quick, right? They're light. They got some good speed, not a lot of weight, and they take off. Then you see some of those Singapore Airline and Delta One 747 Super Tops. They've got 4 big old General Electric engines on them, you know, with 30,000 horsepower or whatever it is each, and they take all of that runway to get up. So, I think that's the analogy. And if you're 50 years old, 55 years old, or 50, and you don't have some serious horsepower, meaning some serious premiums behind it, you're probably not going to accumulate enough cash. We should be looking at the lifetime protection and work things through a death benefit and rider situation, not through a cash accumulation situation. So,
Right.
Excellent.
Right. I agree.
Tom, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on the call. Thank you, everyone, for being on the Family First Life AMS Live. Have a great week, and let's go out there and sell some of this Mutual Omaha IUL. Take care, everyone.
Hello everyone, it's Chantel Blash, Medicare Director here at Family First Life. Super excited to talk to you guys. I know a lot of people have been asking me, hey, I'm thinking about doing Medicare, Medicare Supplement, Medigap, MedAdvantage. What do I need to do? It's the number one question I always get asked. So today what I'm going to talk to you about is how to get contracted. Two things. My email is medsup@familyfirstlife.com. But what I want you to do first to get contracted is you need to contact your vice president. Our vice presidents are like Paul McLean, Andrew Taylor, John Wetmore, Mark Mead, Mike Killamet. These are our VPs that are the ones where the contracting goes through. Also Dominic Rogers. So what you're going to do is you're going to contact their contracting department. And that's usually the admin who's handling the contracting. You don't contact the VP, you contact their admin, please. Okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to contact them, and they're going to send you a link through something called Agent Accelerator. If you don't know who your VP is, ask your upline, and they're going to tell you. Okay? And some people are going to have to contract straight through me, which is going to be through MedSup at Family First Life. So if you're under any of those VPs I mentioned, contact their admins, please. So if you contact them, what you need to supply them with is your legal name. So if your name's Danny Brown, it's going to be Daniel Brown, if that's your legal name. Okay? And then your email, your national producer number, and once they have that, what they're going to do is they're going to send you a link from Agent Accelerator. And when you get that, you're going to have to upload a check and your E&O insurance. And then you'll get your contracting. It's either going to be for United Healthcare, Humana, Cigna, Aetna, SilverScript. We have a lot of different real competitive carriers, okay? And those of you who want to sell MedSup through Mutual of Omaha or Americo, contact your contracting admin. And what they're going to do, and you're going to say, well, I'm already contracted with Mutual of Omaha, or I'm already contracted with Americo. That's great. But to sell MedSup, it's additional contracting. So they're going to send you another form, and you're going to sign it and get it back to your admin. Then, once that's complete, then you can sell Mutual of Omaha and Americo. They're the ones we always want to lead off with. Americo, we want to lead off with them. They have a U10 plan, which is great because it pays some extra benefits to you. Okay? So that's how we're going to start with our contracting. And then once they send you out those links and you get it all filled out, expect anywhere from a 2 to 3 week delay. Okay? If you contract with United Healthcare, sometimes a little faster, sometimes a little slower, and you will receive a party ID. Once you get that party ID, then you need to do your certifications. Same thing, you need to do your certifications with Humana as well. This is to sell Medicare Advantage plans, not MedSup. Once you've completed those, then you get your writing numbers, okay? So when you have your United Healthcare Party ID, you're going to do your Medicare Basics, your Ethics and Compliance, and your AARP course. Once that's complete, it'll be submitted to United Healthcare, and then you're going to get your writing number. You do not need to take the AHIP, guys, if you're only going to contract with United Healthcare. If you want to write Humana, then you need to take the AHIP, okay? But definitely when you go on to the link for United Healthcare, just click on that one section, the 2020 prerequisites. Okay. Also, I want to let you guys know, if you need to take the AHIP, email me, medsup@familyfirstlife.com. I do have a discounted link to save you $50. Happy to send that over to you. Okay. If you have a question, go ahead and email me. One thing too that I really want to let you guys know about is Agent Accelerator. Now, I discussed with you that you're going to sign into Agent Accelerator to do your contracting, but there's also, it's a great learning tool. You can do some Medicare training on that. Click on, up at the top, there's like a band, you click on that, and there's a section that says resources. I want you guys to click on resources. It has Medicare Interactive there, and there's a lot of different courses, and I want you guys to do that in the morning, 6 o'clock before you go out and run appointments, or in the evening when you're done running appointments, or after your dials. And what some of the things that you can learn there are Medicare terms, basic Medicare, learning about Part A and B, just all different parts of Medicare. And they're just small sections. You can do a training, listen to it, and really learn a lot, okay? The other section in Agent Accelerator that's really important, that's your quoting tool. Everybody always wants to know, what do I write? What do I do? Click on Sales Management in Agent Accelerator. From there, you're going to see, it says quotes, CSG quotes and tools. This is like the super important thing. This is how you're going to know what to write in what area. You click on that if you want to check out your MedSup, which would be Americo, Mutual of Omaha, United Healthcare, all the different MedSup carriers that we have. You're going to click on Medicare supplement plans. You'll see you can enter a zip code. I have a lot of agents in the South who run in a lot of different counties, a lot of different states. This is where you can figure out what you can do for your client in what county. Enter that zip code, click on MedSup. It's going to say the county, like maybe Jackson County in Alabama, and it's going to show you what's available there, what the prices are. And this is your tool in your pocket. Also, too, if you sit down with that client, you can do it right there in home and go over it and present to them Americo, present to them Mutual of Omaha. And the costs are all in there. I want you guys to start practicing on that. Same thing with MedAdvantage. Click around in there. You can find out with MedAdvantage what plans are being offered, and you'll learn what your competition is. If you're contracted with United Healthcare, learn what your competitor is. See what else is out there in the market, okay? And also, too, learn, once you get your writing numbers, go into the sites, the carrier sites for United Healthcare, Mutual of Omaha, Americo, and learn the products, learn the benefits. When you're out there and you do some of the trainings from the carriers, like for instance, United Healthcare, they have a training on how to do an e-application. Everybody should be doing e-applications. It's called Lean Training. Take it, do it, get certified in it. Doesn't take long, 10, 15 minutes at the absolute most. Learn how to do the e-app for Americo. We're all doing e-apps when we're out there. We don't want to waste our time with a paper app. Learn how to do it with Humana. Learn how to do it with Americo. It'll make our lives so much easier, okay? And also, too, there's also other trainings on the carrier websites. Make an effort to do 1 or 2 of those a week, and you'd be amazed what you're going to learn. So this is basically a little bit about contracting and also how to figure out what to write for each client. So good luck, and let's get out there and write, guys. It's not very hard. If you have questions while you're in home, you can call the carrier. Carriers pick up really fast, and they have a lot of answers for you. And worst case scenario, you can always give me a call too, or email me at medsup@familyfirstlife. I'm here for you guys, and I want you to know I'm very accessible to you. All right, get out there and write 2 policies a week.
Hey everyone, Sean Ruggiero, Family First Life, AMS. We're going to wrap this up here today, but I wanted to take a quick second and talk to you about some of the emotion behind being a professional insurance or financial advisor. This can be a tough industry. Let's all admit it. It can be a very rewarding, but a very tough industry. Sometimes we feel like we're treading water. Sometimes we feel like we're drowning. Sometimes we feel like there's something after us, all right? The reality is this: maximizing your client prospects is key. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by maximizing your client prospects? First, if you get a lead and it's a final expense lead, if it's a warm market lead, if it's a referral, if it's a mortgage protection lead, or if it's from the internet looking for term insurance, we treat that lead like a customer. You got to be out there seeking customers. I still write business today, and I haven't called a lead in 2-3 years. I get customers coming to me, sending me referrals, asking me for help. That sort of stuff means a lot. It also means that you're going to have a higher propensity rate. You're going to have a higher placement rate and a higher rate of people keeping their business, okay? And lastly, it allows you to sell multiple products. See, there's a lot of you on this call. Family First Life, Sean Mike told me this the other day. I couldn't believe it. I was listening in the call and he said there's over 7,000 licensed contracted agents that are writing business, at least one piece of business with Family First Life. Over 7,000 agents. That's a massive amount of agents. How many of those agents are writing annuities? How many of those agents are writing IULs? How many of those agents are writing Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage plans, especially with open enrollment coming up? Treat a lead like a client and treat clients holistically. We have 5 Quintons. We sell mortgage protection, we sell final expense, we sell annuities, we sell IULs, and we sell Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplements. Well, what if this person is a 26-year-old? Well, don't you think their parents might need some of these products? Don't you think their grandparents might need some of these products? Don't you think they need to start saving for the college for their kids or for retirement and IUL? See, all 5 of these, if we treat them like a customer and maximize that not only from a monetization standpoint, how much money we can make, but from a support standpoint, how much help can you give them? Don't have that client go somewhere else. Don't have that client refer someone else. Treat a lead, treat a prospect like a client, and maximize with all 5 aspects of the Family First Life offering that we have. And I promise you, you're going to feel like you're getting your head above water and like you're actually going somewhere. Thanks everyone for being on the call. Appreciate it. If you need any help, please email us at annuity@familyfirstlife.com or info@fflams.com. Thanks everyone.